What's up, guys? It's Ty, aka Timberlands, and I am finally back with another pregnancy update, so stick around to watch. Okay, y'all, I do apologize for being ghost, but there's been a lot going on, and I'm going to explain it all in this video. This video might be a little lengthy, but we'll see. I'm gonna recap week 32 and week 33. And I am currently 34 weeks, but I'm not going to record that video until I've weathered the entire week. I am going to get back to posting regularly. So, we had a few hiccups along the way, but yeah, let's get to week 32. Week 32, the baby's about the size of a cantaloupe, weighs anywhere from 3.5 to 4 pounds, and is about 16 to 17 inches long. So week 32 for me, it was a little stressful. It wasn't really pregnancy related, but my job was getting a little stressful for a minute there. And I did notice that some of my symptoms were probably triggered by stress, like the Braxton Hicks and the cramps and stomach pain. But other than that, it was pretty much the frequent urination, just general discomfort, back pain, and all that not so good stuff. But pretty much that's what week 32 was filled with. And I was also just extremely busy, so things kind of got a little crazy as far as like prioritizing things. So that's what was going on then. Week 33. So week 33, the baby is about the size of a butternut squash, weighs probably about 4.25 pounds, and is about 17 inches long. Again, I always go with the what to expect measurements. So everybody's baby and body is different. So, this is just the average. Week 33 for me was pretty crazy, pretty crazy. The week started off fairly normal with, the Braxton Hicks contractions, urination, back pain, all that good stuff. Like nothing about that had really changed. I was going to work in person regularly, and though I was exhausted, like it just, it was feeling like a normal work week. Work wasn't really as stressful that week, so I just kind of was like, oh, whatever. So the ironic thing is that the last video I posted was specifically about Braxton Hicks, round ligament pain, baby movement, and when to know the difference and when to talk to your provider. I was quickly met with the scenario where I had to make some decisions. So Thursday morning, I was getting up, I got ready to go to work, and as soon as I stood up, I had a Braxton Hicks contraction. And normally they relax within like a 30-second to 2-minute time frame. But this time it just felt like my stomach was hard for from the time I got up, used the restroom, until the time I started brushing my teeth, washing my face, for a full 5 to 10 minutes. It felt like my stomach was contracting or my uterus was contracting. And then I was met with some really, really, really uncomfortable menstrual-like cramps. And so I was like, this isn't normal. This isn't normal at all. So I went ahead and contacted my job and I let them know what was going on. Ended up working from home that morning. So I contacted my midwife and I let her know what was happening, because as the day progressed, I continued to have the contractions, and they were feeling very, very regular. Because even though I was working, I could tell that wow, my stomach is still hard. My stomach has been hard all day. And so I ended up contacting her because they just kept coming. Oh, and also TMI, I had 3 bowel movements within a few hours. They were coming back to back. And I also know that that's not such a great sign. So I contacted my midwife, and my midwife was like, maybe you want to go to the hospital so they can at least check you out to see what's going on, check your cervix and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of where reality hit me, because I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I know, being 33 weeks is still a little too early. We want to wait a few more weeks. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the hospital. But Then reality hit me and I was like, I don't have anything packed. I have nothing packed, no hospital bag, no nothing. The car seat was still in the box. Like, I was just completely not prepared. So I ended up packing a bag, baby clothes, which at the end of this video, I will go over like the hospital bag checklist for me so far. I ended up packing the bag. My good friend came over and helped me put the car seat in the car. And then I was pretty much just getting ready for anything, you know, because you just never know. So I get to the hospital and I check in, go through triage, and just kind of let them know what was going on. I told them I've been having back-to-back contractions. I've been having dull menstrual cramps, and I'm 33 weeks, da 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 da. So they immediately admitted me to labor and delivery. So I go straight up to the L&D floor, and I go in my room, change, and they put me on the monitor, the one that monitors the baby's heart rate and the contractions. And so I was on the monitor for about 25 minutes. So the nurse came back and she was like, your contractions are 1 to 5 minutes apart, which are way too regular, way too close for us. So we're gonna start you on some fluids and we're gonna give you some medication to stop the contractions. So they hooked up the IVs, retook my blood pressure. Well, I had the automatic blood pressure sleeve on, so I got that redone. And was just kind of getting me prepped and set up and all that stuff. Meanwhile, like in my mind, I'm like processing everything. Luckily, I was able to stay calm, but you know, in my mind, I was like, wow, like this is some like things are happening. I wasn't confident, of course, that I was gonna, you know, have the baby that day, but you never know. So she hooked me up to all the things and continued to monitor me. So with the IV fluids, they were just trying to hydrate me really well, just in case like the hydration was an issue, which it wasn't because I drink water all the time. But even after being on fluids for, I think at this point it was like maybe a couple of hours, it still wasn't doing anything. So I ended up having to get a shot. I think it's called like terbutaline or something like that. And it's like a medication that is intended to stop or slow down uterus contractions. So I had the first shot of that. And after that, I just continued to be monitored. It was probably about 2 hours in that I was at the hospital, and the OBGYN came in and they checked my contractions, and they had slowed down, but they were still coming pretty regularly. Now, mind you, these contractions were not painful. They were uncomfortable, and I had the somewhat painful menstrual cramps that would follow, but they weren't just inherently painful. So I really wasn't aware of how much I was contracting because I really wasn't paying attention to it. And so she came in, they looked at the monitor, and you know, they saw what they saw. And at that point she was like, okay, I'm gonna check your cervix. So she went ahead and did a cervical check, and she was saying that my cervix was still closed, but they wanted to continue to monitor me just because anything could have changed in a very short period of time. So after the OB left, the nurse monitored me a little more. Baby was doing great the whole time, by the way. Like, the contractions weren't causing her heart to slow down or anything like that. She was doing fantastic the whole time, was very active, moving around, like, you know, it was a great day for her. So the nurse ended up coming back, and she was like, you know, they're not really slowing as much as I want, so I'm going to give you another shot. Mind you, this is a shot straight to the muscle, and it's very, very, very painful. So I was not really excited about the second shot, but she gave me the second shot, and it was probably about another 45 minutes or so that the nurse came back, and she said, okay, they're starting to slow. OB came back in. She said they're starting to slow down as well and space out, and basically just return to like regular Braxton Hicks contractions. And so at that point, the whole goal was just to stop and slow the contractions and then get me home. So the nurse wanted to monitor me for a little longer. So I ended up staying about another 30 minutes or so. And then after that, I was discharged. After I left, I kind of had time to process everything that happened, and I started freaking out a little bit. I was like, wow, she really could have come, and I would have been, I mean, I probably could have called I could have called one of my friends and they would have come to the hospital. But ultimately, like the whole first part of it, I was like alone. So I was kind of scared. I didn't have any bags packed. Like I wasn't ready. and, but you know, what needed to happen happened. They got the contractions under control and I was able to go home and rest. So now, since Thursday, my midwife has placed me on bed rest just because now I'm considered high risk for preterm labor. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to be on bed rest for the rest of pregnancy, working from home as much as I can. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. She also put me on magnesium because magnesium helps with relaxing the muscles. So I take magnesium every day just to keep things from getting exciting again like they were. And hopefully, you know, she just holds out for a few more weeks. So as far as the birth center goes, well, one, I will say my trip to the hospital reminded me why I do not want to have my baby in the hospital. It just gives me a lot of anxiety, and it's just not for me. You know, everybody has their preference. Like some people are more comfortable in hospitals. I'm not one of them, but you know, it's to each his own, or to each her own in this particular case. For a birth center birth, the baby has to be at least 37 weeks along. And so our goal is just to get me to 37 weeks. At that point, I'm assuming I don't necessarily have to be on the magnesium anymore, only because like there's nothing wrong with the baby. Like the baby was perfectly fine the entire time. Like she was doing beautifully. But until then, I'll be on like more restricted bed rest and limited activity until then. So that's pretty much what's been happening since the last time I posted. It's been a lot, and yeah, I'm just trying to follow the rules as much as I can because I'm not ready for her. I also spoke with her dad on Sunday because that's the only days that we can talk. And I was letting him know what's going on. And I didn't want to tell him at first because I know he's away and I didn't want him to get anxious, but also like I tell him everything. So I was like, I'm going to, let him know what was going on. But I think it's like a mix of anxiety and excitement just because in the next few weeks she could be here. She is going to be here. So yeah, that's pretty much what is happening. So I will be at home forever. No, I'm kidding. I'll be at home for a while now, just because even after the baby's born, I'm going to be right back at home. So, I'll probably try to find some things to keep me occupied in the meantime, since I'm going to be spending most of my time sitting down in my bed or on the couch, even for work. Okay, so let's talk about birth center / hospital bags. Now, the first thing I packed, of course, were outfits for her. And I packed multiple, like at least 3 or 4. The reason being is because you want to have various sizes because, you can have an estimate of how big your baby is going to get, but you just really, really never know. So with Gerber's outfits are smaller. So I packed a Gerber outfit for newborn sizes. The newborn sizes for Gerber are considerably smaller. So I packed one Gerber outfit in a newborn size. I packed one Carter's outfit in a newborn size. And then I don't remember the third brand, but I ended up packing something that was like 0 to 3 months. Because again, you just never know how big these kids are going to be when they come out. So I also ended up packing a few outfits for myself. Pajama sets, robes, stuff that's easy access, loose fitting, super comfortable, shoes, slides, socks, comfy socks. I packed my speaker. I packed toiletry items, face wash, toothbrush, lotion, deodorant, body wash, body spray, all that kind of stuff. Basically packing as if you're going out of town. And I've only really packed the basics. So there's also some things that I'm going to be ordering that I will pack in my bag. I have a list here. It includes the Frida Mom upside down Peri bottle for postpartum care, the tailbone pillow, which is going to be really crucial for traveling, like once you leave and you're in the car or whatever. Hot and cold compress pack, and that's for labor. Some nursing pads for leaking. Also, I'm getting the Always Discreet incontinence underwear, and it's for post-labor or postpartum, just because you will have like the bleeding afterward. I'm buying some new boy shorts just to have something a little more comfortable. I'm also buying a silk robe just because it'll be a little more breezy than my cotton robe. And I'll also be bringing my essential oil diffuser, a few essential oils, and the fake tea light candles just for like mood. I think I already said speaker, but if I didn't, I am bringing my speaker to play ambient music or meditation music whenever I am in labor. I will go ahead and put what I'm packing in the description so that if you guys need a suggestion, you can always just look off of that list. The other funny thing is that probably 2 days before I went to the hospital, I was asking everyone what they packed and when they packed. And I guess I got my answer really soon. My personal suggestion is as soon as you get into the 3rd trimester to just go ahead and have a backpack. Like, even if you don't have everything, have something packed, just because like you never know. It's free game. Like, you know, the baby at this point, the baby can come when they want to come. And it's just nice to be prepared. So it's one less thing that you have to worry about. So some people say, oh, I wait until 36 weeks or I wait until like the last minute. And I would just suggest, you know, of course, do what you want to do, but also understand that babies come when they feel like it. So I definitely would pack now. That's just my take on it, especially after what I went through. But that is pretty much it. I am just hoping that things kind of stay at bay for at least 3 more weeks so that I can have my water birth. And I will be here taking it easy. So if y'all have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And that is pretty much all I have for you today. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and also follow me on social media. All of that information is going to be below the video. So make sure you click, and follow, and I will see you guys probably later this week with my 34-week update. All right.